Well, guys, whoa, what was that? It just dropped. Oh, that did. Do you guys see that trailer aid? You guys see this right here? Oh, we needed to use this on the way to this new campsite.
Sharp right.
Coming out of my parking spot here, lady. I know it's a sharp right. Yeah, guys, we officially have made it to Mayberry. Thank you, lady. We've officially made it to the Mayberry Campground in Mount Airy, North Carolina. This is our 7th stop for this trip. We've got a lot more to go. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get to see much of Watkins Campground because that was stop number 6. We were only there for 2 days. Man, she's loud. And it basically rained the entire time we were there. So we were stuck inside the camper. I did get this footage of Watkins Campground. So this is where we were set. We were parked in a parking lot at a storage facility. And to be quite honest, it was a nice place to stay. Well, Mr. Johnson was the owner / manager of the campground. And he said, Kevin, this is probably the easiest pull-through campsite you'll ever see. Well, he was right. Well, she's going to be doing this the whole time because I have no idea where I'm at. I'm in the campground and she won't leave me alone. As I said, this is the Mayberry Campground. I've been looking forward to this campground for over, I don't know, it's got to be at least 8 years. Well, anyway, what makes Mount Airy, North Carolina so famous is Andy Griffith. Now, while we're here, we're going to go to the Andy Griffith Museum and we're going to do all kinds of stuff, but I've got a buddy of mine that lives here now. He retired. He lives here now, and he took us on a tour yesterday, pretty much of the entire area, and that's where we're going. We're going to one of the spots today that he took us to that I don't know if anybody even knows exists around here. Well, they probably do. What's funny is I called him a while back to let him know that we were going to be coming here to stay at the campground. And he's lived here for like 7 years now. And he said there's a campground called Mayberry Campground. He had no idea. That's kind of like us. We lived in St. Augustine for years. We never went to the fort, not once. All right, it might not be exactly like that, but it's close to that. Anyway, he took us to all kinds of different sites yesterday. We bought a couple of souvenirs, spent some time in jail. You know, the usual. Well, today starts off this Mount Airy Festival. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but there's going to be a tractor parade this evening at like 6 o'clock in downtown. So I wanted to leave early this morning to get this test out of the way so I'm not held up by all that traffic. Plus, I might want to go see the tractors. I know somebody who drives a tractor. Well, on the way here to Mount Airy from Watkins Campground, we had a couple of issues pop up with a camper. And I'm not talking about small issues. I mean, you remember I mentioned the trailer aid ramp there. First, before we even left Watkins, we had an issue with our slide topper. It came loose and unraveled, so I had to figure out a way to get it secure so we could drive down the highway at 64 miles an hour. That wasn't any fun. I didn't even have a ladder, so we ended up, when we got here to Mount Airy, we ended up going to Lowe's, and I bought a ladder. Well, anyway, the second thing that came up, we were approaching Greensboro, and the PTMS thing here started going beep, 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 beep. You got a flat tire. This is what alerted us that there's a problem. So I had to pull over and had to change a tire. Fortunately, though, we were about 10 minutes away from Discount Tire, which is where we bought these tires, and we had bought the warranty. And I'm telling you what, Discount Tire, they're awesome. We took the tire in, and within 15 minutes, they had the tire fixed, and they had it mounted back on the camper. It was a simple valve stem fix, but still, they took care of us quick. And then we were back on the road to get to Mayberry, and I'm telling you what, we've had a lot of fun since. The campground that we're at, Mayberry Campground, it doesn't disappoint. It's got all kinds of different little amenities. But what's really cool about it is the layout. We're all the way down in the bottom in O.P. Taylor Avenue, I think is what it's called. So we've got a view, we got to look up at everybody. Everybody is looking down on us. That's basically the story of my life though, right? Anyway, yesterday when we were on that private tour, we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of different things. So I can definitely recommend that you guys come to Mount Airy and see the sites, what they've got here, because they have a lot to offer. I'm trying to talk Christy into moving here. I don't think she's going to do it, though. Done a lot of talking already this morning. But where we're going today, we're not even going to be in North Carolina. We're going to be in Virginia. Mount Airy is just south of the state line, and the place that we're going to fly is wide open country. Well, you guys know by the title, the drone that I'm going to fly today is noisy. So flying that inside the campground might have been a little bit distracting. So I thought it was going to be a better idea to come out here to the country where nobody will be disturbed. Wow, I'd like to have one of those. I don't think I'm going to have phone service where we're at, so I had to preload the map, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it can get me there. There's the water tower. Mount Airy welcomes you. Oh, check out what I got. Oh yeah, it's official. I was sworn in yesterday. Oh, I think we're in Virginia. Woohoo! Look at how fast that car's going. Holy crap. All right, guys, we've officially arrived, and I see no vehicles here, so this could be a good thing. You say, where are we?
Destination is on the left.
We're right here. Is that specific enough for you? He drove us up here yesterday, and there was a couple of places up here that looked like we could park and have some privacy, and I think that's one of them right there. And I'm gonna go a little further up and see if there's another spot. There's a spot. I need to scope out the area to make sure nobody is here before I launch this drone. Now that's where I'm gonna fly from, right there. I'm gonna come up here, turn around, we're gonna go back right there, because that's where his memorial is. I think that's the place where he was, or where his house was. I'm not a big Civil War buff, but I know a lot of you guys that watch our videos are. So this is a place that a lot of you are gonna appreciate. Some of you might not appreciate it so much, but a lot of you will. We're here. All right, so what this place is, this is a place to commemorate Jeb Stuart's birthplace. There's a walking trail, and there's all kinds of different little artifacts. Now I'm assuming that this is his grave, because there's some things over there, that markers that make it look like a grave site. Oh, and there's also this. There's a flag waving up there, and I think that's the official spot where his house used to be, where he was born. And then here is a big fake rock. Fiberglass. What's this for? Well, now that I walked through all this grass and got my feet all wet, let's go back over here to the truck. You guys know her name. And we're gonna get this drone out and get started with this test. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but probably about 10 months ago, we released a video where I tested out a Phantom 4 Pro. It belonged to a buddy of mine. Well, I had another buddy who was selling a Phantom 4 Pro at the time, and he gave us first dibs. Well, we ended up buying that drone several months ago, but I never did anything with it. It sat in the closet for quite a while. Well, finally, we brought it with us on this trip. Well, finally, today's the day that I'm gonna introduce you to Boss Hog. Yep. I'm really happy that we bought the Phantom 4 Pro, and I bought it for business reasons. I just haven't used it for business purposes yet. But I got a comment the other day right here from PopWall4297 on a video that kind of made me a little bit disheartened here. Made me think that, did I make a mistake? And he said, okay, here's something I don't like. I have two Phantom 3 standards flying perfect still in 2025. Had them since they came out new. The app that I downloaded has shut down apparently. DJI can shut down your operating app whenever they want to. So now I can fly the drone, but I have little control over it. I don't have the app showing on my phone, so keep in mind, anytime DJI wants to shut you down, they apparently can. The app shows up on my phone, but you have absolutely no information coming from the drone. All you see is a black screen, and the buttons to push, but nothing happens. This happens on both drones. This happened on both drones whenever DJI quit supporting the Phantom. If you guys haven't heard, recently DJI have written off the DJI Phantom series. So they're no longer supporting the Phantom series. So he's out of luck with his Phantom 3. I'm kind of wondering, are we out of luck with the Phantom 4 Pro? I'm pretty sure that the Phantom 3 uses a different fly app than the Phantom 4 Pro. The Phantom 4 Pro uses, I think it's called the DJI Go 4 fly app. And there was an update for it apparently. So yesterday I installed the update, and I just hope that that update wasn't something that's going to totally disable this drone. I'm kind of thinking, did I make a mistake? Okay, well, I think that's just about enough dumb dialogue, as our viewer from several weeks ago so eloquently put it. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. My only question to him is how is it dialogue if I'm the only one talking? Are you talking back? All right, let me get Boss Hog. Check out this case. Ouch, I pinched myself, that hurt. There he is, guys. That is Boss Hog, the newest drone to the fleet. And man, that really hurt. I pinched my finger right there. I know it's got a skin, so he's not white like Boss Hog's car was, but the batteries are. And the back of the controller is. Ain't this exciting? There he is. Whoop. I just broke the gimbal cover. Brittle. Look how brittle that thing is. Guys, check this gimbal out. That thing is very, very versatile. Well, unfortunately, when I registered Boss Hog with the FAA on the FAA's drone zone, I had to put a remote ID module on top of him because he doesn't have the built-in remote ID module that a lot of the Phantom 4 later models have. That's a bummer. Okay guys, enough lollygagging. I'm gonna get Boss Hogg set up on his landing pad. Just so you know, the front of the controller matches Boss Hogg. I think we should call the voice of the controller Lulu. All right guys, check out my setup. There's Boss Hogg on the landing pad. Well, over there is my new backpack with the selfie stick that I'm using as a tripod. And then here's the command center. There's our truck. One thing I like about this Phantom 4 controller is I don't have to take my phone out of the case to fly it. And this controller's already set up with a little attachment here that will accept an iPad. Well guys, it's game time. I'm gonna turn the controller on. Short press and a long press, it turns the controller on. I've got the controller attached to the phone with this green cable that's kind of stylish. And now I'm gonna turn the drone on. And it's just like any other drone. Short press, long press. You hear that noise? Let me get him set down here so he can get his gimbal squared away. Okay, and we are officially connected to the drone with the controller. There's the gimbal. I'm telling you what, man, it's got a clear screen, doesn't it? 96% battery, I think that's gonna be the drone battery. And we've got full connection. And Lulu says, the home point's been updated, please check it on the map. Now she sounds like the original Martha, so I kind of like that voice. But for this drone, we're gonna call her Lulu. I'm not really too familiar with this app and with the layout of it, so it's gonna be a learning curve. It's kind of like we're stepping back in time, right? But so far it looks like the Phantom 4 is still working. Doesn't look like we're grounded yet. It says ready to go GPS. Let me go ahead and pinch the sticks together and we'll get the, we'll get the blades going. Here we go. You just pinch the sticks together here. Listen to that. Man, I'm telling you what, he is loud. Imagine me flying this drone in the campground over these campers. Let me set in my comfy chair here. And we'll just get him raised up in the air here and we'll just, we'll let him sit there in front of the GoPro so you guys can see how solid he is. I'm gonna let him sit there and hover for a second. I'm gonna get the GoPro and I'm gonna give you a little walk around. Check that out. It's loud, but you know what? It flies. So we might not have made a mistake after all. Wow, that looks good. I don't want to get too close because I might cut my finger off. Boss Hogg. Now, he's lowering back down. He landed himself. I guess Boss Hogg got impatient. So somebody gave me the name Boss Hogg to give to him. I can't remember who it was and I can't find the comment anywhere. But I want to thank you for that name because it's totally fitting. Did you get bored? Well, so far the good news is he flies. Let me get a recording going here. Is that going to be video or what? How do you get to the video mode here? Okay, so we're recording video. I'm going to go ahead and start the drone again. I'm going to let him hover right here for just another second. And I got to sync up the audio and the video. Hi, buddy. Are you ready? Let's go. That's cool, man. He is already way up there, well, 60 feet if that's way up there, but look at the view that we've got here, man. That is incredible. Wow. I'm impressed. Let me pull the gimbal down a little bit here because, you know, they say something about rule of thirds, which I don't know anything about photography, but from what I understand, that's important. Okay, so what I'm going to do a couple of quick tests because he's got precision landing. I'm just going to raise him up so we make sure that we don't hit any trees. Battery power limit will automatically, I don't know what that means. So I'm in normal mode, I believe, and I'm just gonna fly straight forward here. And we're gonna go out, say, what, 1,500 feet like I normally do with all of the other drones. And we'll see if we can, we're definitely gonna be keeping our visual of him because he's humongous. But I wanna just do a distance test for the signal since we're not sitting in the truck. And then also I want to do a return to home test. So how fast is he going? He's going 20 miles an hour and he's loud. Let me fly over this way. So, well, let me fly over this way so I can actually see him. But there's a couple of houses over here. But if I fly over this way here, then we should be able to maintain our visual. Let me raise up just a little bit more. We're already at 250 feet, but these trees they're creeping up on me. And wow. He is humongous in the sky. I'm sure that these people that, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that little glitch was. But these people that that are at these houses down there, they can probably hear him. So we're 1,100 feet out. He still looks he looks like a big eagle out there. But it looks like we're getting some breakup of the critically low voltage aircraft landing. What? No, 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 no. Don't be landing. Don't be landing. Return home. Return home. Please, please, please. Don't be critically low.
Go home.
Don't be critically low. Please, please, please. Please come home. I don't know why it says critically low voltage aircraft landing. That doesn't make any sense. Is he coming home? Yes, he's coming home. Not sure what that message is all about there. It says we got 74%. And he's still up there. I can still see him in the sky. He's 700 feet out. Holy crap. Why does it say aircraft landing, critically low voltage? I can't control the gimbal here, but we're gonna see how close he's gonna get to this landing spot. Oh, you scared the crap out of me there, Boss Hog. We might have some work to do here. I'm not sure. I might need to get a different battery in him, but I've only got one more battery charged, and he's right over top of us now. Man, I thought we lost him on the very first flight. That would have sucked. I can't pull the gimbal down. Let me cancel the, well, I don't want to cancel the landing because,
Landing.
okay, he's landing now. Let me see if I can pull the gimbal down now. He's turning around and getting himself oriented back to the way he was. Let me pull the GoPro up so you guys can actually see him in the sky. And we'll see how close he is. Oh, okay, I got the gimbal now. We'll see how close he is to the landing pad on his view. It looks like he's pretty close. I don't understand what that critically low voltage aircraft landing thing is all about. That's scary. All right, let's switch to the GoPro because he's right over top of us now. It looks like he might be off just a little bit, but he is huge. Maybe I should hover him a little bit closer to us before I take off next time. I'm gonna pull the camera up because I know that he can land pretty hard sometimes, and that might mess the gimbal up. So, looks good though, buddy. You look good on your landing. Look at this, he's right on the pad. He got one leg on the pad. Whew. I'm just glad we got you home. What's the critically low voltage all about? I don't understand. Let's get a different battery. So the drone came with 5 of these batteries, and I was charging some of them up, and 2 of them are actually bad that won't even charge. But then I don't know, I had 3 that I thought were good. Maybe now I got 3 that are bad, and hopefully I've got 2 that are, at least 2 that are good. Yeah, that was scary. All right, let's get you turned back on, bud. There we go. He's making his noise. So we should be getting feet on the screen here in just a second whenever he gets reconnected. While he's booting himself up, I can tell you that from a distance, this drone is humongous. So we can go even way further than we can with the minis, and we'll still be able to keep our visual line of sight. Now, the purpose of this test obviously was to see if this drone would still fly, which that's a great thing, he still flies. But with them, okay, so Lulu says that the home point's been updated, so I think we're good there. We've got 12 satellites. But the question that I have now is am I gonna be able to find some batteries to purchase that actually work? Man. All right, Boss Hog, we've proven that we can see you from a long distance. So let's just kind of stay close to home now. So let me pinch the sticks together, get you raised up, and we'll see how this new battery is. I think I gotta go 30 feet up in the air is what the instructions say to get that precision landing spot taken care of. Kind of like with the Mini 4 Pro, we gotta go 23 feet up or 7 meters. So maybe it's the same, who knows. So this battery looks like it's gonna be okay, but it's already down to 94%. I just charged these batteries last night, and I don't think that, I don't think they should, battery power limit will automatically, I don't understand what that means. Battery power limit, because it's too fast, I couldn't read it. Okay, let me record again. Let me raise him up, and we'll just try to get some sights of this area and make sure that this battery doesn't go bad, because have you guys ever had that happen to you where it says critically low battery and you were like 1,500 feet away? I mean, that sucked. That's probably one of the scariest things I've ever had happen, especially with a drone of this size. If this thing comes crashing down because the battery died, man, that could be bad. There could be repercussions on that one. All right, I'm gonna see how easy this is to maneuver because, like I said, I've not flown the Phantom 4 much, but I wanna see if I can do a manual orbit around this flag. So I'm just gonna start going to the left with the right stick Nice and slow. I'm gonna add in, whoops, I'm gonna add in some right stick, or some left stick to the right. We'll see if we can do a manual. Yeah, I suck. Don't judge me, guys. I know it's not the drone, it's gotta be me, because the guy that owned this drone made some awesome videos. He's a really good drone pilot, way better than me. All right, let me get this started again. Let me maybe go a little bit faster to the left, and there we go. There we go, we're starting to do a little bit of an orbit now. But this has quick shots or whatever, like any other DJI drone has, I believe. I just can't, I don't know where they are. So we're gonna have to do this manually. It doesn't look bad, the picture looks pretty good, at least on the phone. And I know that the video on the SD card is gonna look even better. So long as I have an SD card in there. You know what, I didn't even check to see if I had an SD card in there. I'm getting off center here, but I think we still get the point. And I think it looks pretty good. All right, well, let me do this. Let me raise up to 400 feet, because it looks like this battery is gonna be okay. This battery's fine. So where are we at? We're at 170, 180 feet up, and 250 feet. Battery power limit will automatically mobility to ensure flights. I don't know what that says. I can't read it. I can't read fast enough. All right, so let's swing around here where we are. I'll point the gimbal down to us. And you can see, that's not where we are. I guess we're up here. Where are we at? All right, guys, I'm lost. That's not us either. You're turned in a way that I can't really see where your front is, bud. We got to be close. Is that us? Yeah, that's us right there. There we are. Maybe that was us. All right, so he's staring at us right now. I don't know how to zoom either. I think we zoom with this wheel. Nope, that's not it. I don't know what that button does. Oh, crap. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because it says, I don't know enough about this drone yet to mess with buttons. Okay, so let's do this. Let me point the camera, well, let's do this. Point the camera like this. I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna come down a little bit, and we'll do a little bit of a droney, and we'll do a reveal. It's twisting to the, trying to go straight down, but it was twisting to the left there. All right, so we got the camera up. Let me just fly backwards, and we'll fly up, and we'll do like a manual droney, and we'll add the gimbal tilt. We'll add the reveal. See how good I am? I'm not doing much of a reveal though, am I? Altitude above the takeoff point. Oh shoot, I'm 400 feet up. I need to lower down. Yep, I'm too high. Never done that before. Well guys, I think that we've proven a couple of things. We've proven yet again, that I'm a terrible drone pilot. But then secondly, we've proven that the Phantom 4 Pro still flies. So let me do a second return to home trip here. We'll make sure that he's gonna be accurate on his second attempt. Lulu says he's going home. And I kind of like the layout of this screen. I'm not used to it yet, but I kind of like it. I think it's easy to read. I like where the feet or the distance and the height down at the bottom are really big. I kind of like that. All right, so he's getting close now. And oh, did I say the second thing that we proved? Oh, the drone still flies. So I think we're good. Hopefully Phantom 3 owners don't have any heartache with me that the Phantom 4 Pro still flies. I really hope that they can get that squared away, because having a nice drone like this that doesn't fly, that would be a pain in the butt. I don't think that's fair of DJI to do that. Okay, so let me pull the gimbal down since Lulu said he's landing, and we'll see if he's anywhere. Yeah, it looks like he's pretty close. He's coming down at how fast? 6.5 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Where you at? Hurry up! I'm tired of waiting. I'm running out of things to say. I'm running out of dumb dialogue. All right, so I'm gonna put the GoPro up on him. We're running out of battery on the GoPro too. And we're just gonna follow him down and see where he lands. He moves around very little, like he's very stable compared to the Mini 4 Pro. The Mini 4 Pro would be all over the place. And granted, we don't have any winds going on right now either, but the Mini 4 Pro would still be moving a lot. But look how solid he is. Guys, I think I love this drone. I think I love this drone. I like the name a lot, Boss Hog. But look how accurate he is. He's gonna get both legs on the pad this time, dead in the middle. Well, not dead in the middle, but off-centered to the right in the middle. I have nothing to complain about except for that battery. All right, guys, I must say we've got a winner in Boss Hog. I think that this is gonna be a great addition to our fleet. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with him. If you guys can think of any tests or anything that you want me to do with this drone, leave them in the comments and let me know. I'll see what we can do to accommodate you. As always, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. God bless.